These new one-click Gemma and N8N automations are absolutely insane. So what we're doing here, for example, you can see this screenshot right here. We have one-click Google AI agents that could just basically automate all sorts of workflows. So if we have a look at this one, for example, this is like an AI-powered RAG workflow for stock earnings. You can see we have the new update from Google plugged in over here. So this is using Gemma 3 to automate the whole process. And I'll be giving away all the templates from today, step by step. So if you want to just copy and steal this stuff from me, you can. I'll show you how to get access as well. And super powerful stuff here. Now, also when we're doing this, if my camera doesn't cut off, let me put my camera back on here. Let's pop this on. Here we go. All right, so when we're doing this, what we can do is we can go over to N8N. Now, N8N is a really powerful way to create like one-click AI agents. I'll show you exactly how to do this step by step in a simplified way, and then we'll make it more and more complex. And if you're not sure about what Gemma is or how it works, etc., we actually released a new module inside the AI Profit Boardroom that shows you exactly what this is. But we've also got a video tutorial right here on how to use it, etc. But essentially, this is like one of the most capable models from Google. Just came out literally like about, I don't know, I would say 36 hours ago, something like that. It's already outperforming DeepSeek version 3, O3 Mini, Llama 3, Mistral Large, Gemma 2. You can run it locally as well with Llama, but today we're going to be using it to integrate it directly into N8N workflows. And the beautiful thing about this is, like, if you're using something like, for example, I don't know, DeepSeek, or let's say, for example, you're using Claude. The problem with these platforms is, like, when you're using DeepSeek or Claude or anything like that, these are paid API models, right? Whereas, for example, if you're using Gemma 3, well, Gemma 3 is a free API, so you don't need to pay for it, and you can automate your workflows for free. Also, if you host N8N locally, then I think you can use it for free as well. So, either way, you can build these AI agents, and you can actually do it for free if you host N8N locally. We have a few guys in the AI Profit Boardroom already doing that, and it's super powerful stuff. So let's run through exactly how to get this set up step by step. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to go into N8N, set up a new workflow like you can see right here. And then inside this section, we're going to have chat trigger. Now, chat trigger essentially sets up the whole process so that as soon as someone types something into the chat, it's going to trigger the AI agent, which we'll add now. And we're going to use Gemma 3 to power this up. All right. So for example, what you see here is we've got a workflow where we take the message from the user, we plug that into the AI agent, then we're going to select Google over here, and you just want to make sure that you've added your credentials from Google. Now, if you can't get those credentials or you're not sure where to get them, etc., you can get them for free at aistudio.google.com. I will put an SOP for all of this stuff inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well, so you can just grab that from me. But if you want to just grab an API key, go to aistudio.google.com, get an API key, create an API key like you see right here. So you just click this button and then you can grab an API key and plug that into your credentials, right? So if you want to enter your credentials, leave this the same, add your API key, literally takes a couple of minutes once you get your head around it. And then inside the model section here, you're going to select Gemma 3 27B. All right, so that's the one that you want to select here. And that means that now you've got a chatbot already set up in like the space of minutes with an AI agent ready to go and Google Gemini. Now that's how easy it is to set up an AI agent if you've never done this before. We can also set up a window buffer memory. That means it will remember like the last few messages that you've sent on the AI agent. So we're going to go with 10 for that, for the context window length, which means basically it's going to remember the last 10 interactions as we go through this process, all right? So if we go inside the chat now, we just want to check that it's working. It doesn't always work perfectly first time, but we can test it out. So what I'm going to say from here is, are you working? And we can test it out. Now you can see here, there is an error inside here. So let's open this up, just double check what we got going on here. And let's just double check if it's a Gemma problem. or a Gemini problem in general. All right, so I'm just going to switch this to one of these and just double check this. There we go. All right. Well, actually, it looks like you can't use Gemma. It looks like you can't use Gemma for these AI agents, but you can switch over to Gemini 3 instead. So if you want to use Gemini 3 instead, you can. Gemma 3 doesn't seem to be working at all. So basically what you're going to do is with N8N, just make sure that inside the API section, don't use Gemma 3 because it doesn't seem to work. But instead, you can use Gemini, right? So you're just going to select here. Gemini Flash is usually the best one. And then step by step inside the AI agent, we can just check this working. All right, so we'll put, are you working here? There we go. We're good to go on that. That's working beautifully right there. So basically what happens here is it gets a chat message that goes to the AI agent. Then you've got these models right here. Now, I will show you some more complex stuff in a minute, but essentially you can see how easy this is to set up, right? And then inside the AI agent, we can actually edit the system instructions. So we can say here, for example, you're an SEO blog writer, write content for SEO. And then I'm going to grab one of my best recipes for building out content. So I'm going to take this right here. And we'll grab this and then we'll plug it into N8N. All right, so we'll grab that and we'll say create an SEO optimized article for this. Keyword equals SEO. Take the keyword from the user. All right. And then if we open this up, we've got the details right here. All right. So it says keyword equals take the keyword from the user, create an SEO optimized article for this, do all this stuff, this is how you're going to write it, etc. And then we can just test this out. So I'm going to say, okay, keyword equals SEO training Japan. Let's make sure that's working. And there we go. We've got the content ready to go back in the chat right there. All right. Let's check what the content is like from this AI agent. Plug this in. We'll copy that in. And we'll make sure all the content is black so we can actually read it. There we go. All right, and it's pretty much like perfectly formatted, as you can see right here. Additionally, it's all personalized to me inside the content. And then it's got some details right here on exactly what to use, etc. And we've got that working nicely. Now let's just double check this. So I'm going to try and switch back to Gemma and see if it's working this time around. And if it doesn't, it's okay. I'm just going to say, right, are you working? Bad request, check the parameters. Okay, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to see if we can use the new model from Google with maybe OpenRouter has it instead. So let's open that up. Model, Gemma, and we have Gemma 3, and it's actually free as well. So we've got two different options for Gemma there. So let's change it to that one. We'll say, are you working? That seems to be working. Boom shakalaka. We got it working, my friend. All right, happy days. So if you're struggling to get this set up with the Google Gemini API directly, then just make sure that you switch to OpenRouter and then you can use Gemma 3, right? So you see how I have the model selected with OpenRouter, Gemma 3, and then that's working beautifully directly with the Google API. I don't know if it's just temporary, but it doesn't seem to work directly. Now, if you want to get the API from OpenRouter, let me sign in. I'll show you exactly how to do this. We're going to OpenRouter, and then in your settings in the top right here, you're going to go over to keys, and then inside the key section, create a key, and then you can get API key from OpenRouter. And the cool thing about that is when you're doing this is like you can switch between all of these different models. So if we actually type in free, for example, here, We have, for example, like DeepSeek, Google Gemini, Flash, Gemma 3 is also free with the API inside OpenRouter. Then you got Llama, Quen, DeepSeek. Like there's tons of free APIs there. But it seems like if you want to get this working on N8N, use OpenRouter, don't use Google directly. Google has let us down on the so at least it's working. I mean, that's one of the things you got to bear in mind. It's like when these new APIs get released, they're very temperamental. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But either way, we're back in the game, my friends. So that's how you quickly build an AI agent. Obviously, it's one click, so you just type in your keyword, and that's a really simple one. If you want to make this active, you can click on active over here, and then you can actually enable the chat message right there. So if we go back to overview here, I'm just going to save that one, and I'll show you some other ways to set this up. All right, so over here, we actually have a Telegram assisted AI, right? And what you can actually do is if you want to, for example, customize this with Gemma instead of OpenAI. So obviously OpenAI, like it's a paid model. Whereas, for example, if you use something like OpenRouter and Gemini, then it's free, all right, or Gemma 3. So what we can do here is inside this AI agent section, let me pull this up. We'll delete that. And then we're going to click on this and we'll type in OpenRouter. And we'll select Gemma 3 from the list. We'll use a free model just to show you that this is free if you want to use it. And then we should be good to go on that. All right. And basically what this is going to do is going to listen for incoming events on our Telegram account. Then whether we send a chat message or a normal message, this will go through to the AI agent. The AI agent should respond. All right. So let's test this out. I just want to make sure I've got the right Telegram account selected and what the connection is. I think it'll be this one right here, the N8N bot. All right, if we go over to N8N and we're like, are you working? Yeah, look at that, working beautifully right here. So it says, are you working? Yes, Jay, I'm here. I'm ready to assist you. Okay, what model are you? And it's saying it's using the architecture from that. All right, we'll just hit save on that as well. Just need to make sure it's saved. Refresh that. Type in something else. It seems like it is a bit slower when it's using Gemma 3, which is interesting. Let's have a look at the executions as well. Look at that error. Why is that an error? See what we got here. All right. Make sure we'll switch to the normal model and see if that works better instead. So we'll switch to Gemma 3. Hit save. Then we're going to go over to N8N bot. Yeah, that is working now. Beautiful. Actually, you know what's quite interesting here is like, look at the response from OpenAI previously. So this is the OpenAI response on Telegram. And then this is the response from Google Gemma 3, right? So you see how the content is a lot more like wordy. And it's a lot friendlier and that sort of thing. And it's like, right, consider me, Julian Goldie, etc., the digital genie ready to tackle your queries. Seems like when you actually use Gemma 3, it's got a lot more personality. It does still feel a bit more like AI, whereas this one is like more short and straight to the point. All right, let's test this out now. So what model are you? Takes a little bit longer as well. But yeah, that's it. And then we've got this running and ready to go. If we go to executions here, that is actually working. Okay, nice, nice. So you can see how to use this step by step, how easy it is. If you want like all of the workflows that we're building out today, then you can go over to the AI Profit Boardroom. Let me pull this up inside the classroom here. If you go over to the agent section, we've got like tons of different agents you can use directly with N8N, right? So for example, let me pull up this one. These are some DeepSeek agents right here. And you can actually download these JSON files and then import them, right? So if you download that, then we're going to go over to N8N, create a new workflow. And if we click on import from file, open that JSON file up, it'll actually import the agent directly, right? So literally within like, 1 or 2 clicks, you can just pull in all the details of this AI agent. And then if you want to use Gemma 3 inside here, just type in Gemma, like so. We'll type Gemma there as well. And then we'll type Gemma in here as well. All right. And that's how easy it is to switch between these APIs. And then once you've done that, inside the chat, you would just, for example, open up the chat inside N8N. We'll just check. Okay. Keyword equals, let's put, for example, Google Gemma API. Now we're going to pull up the research agent. Like you can see, and it's using the Open Router chat model. Start building that out. So we'll wait for that to load. So also like there's tons of other AI agents in here as well. So we actually have 7 N8N agents over here, like one for Telegram, email sales, video transcripts, SEO content writer, calendar and email assistant, scraping live pages, and a stock analysis assistant, right? So there's some pretty cool stuff in there. You can see it's working its magic now. So if we have a look inside the research agent, it's pulling in the information right here. So it's using that information. And that's the output. And now it's working on the next step, which is writing the introduction for the content. And then it will move step by step across here. Now, once you've done that, if you go over to this inbox right here, let me pull this up. It should write an email and get me to approve it. Let me just double check. So yeah, you see how it's waiting for an email response right there? So basically this method right here, it uses like a human in the loop agent to get our approval before it carries on the workflow, which is super useful. And when it does something like this, what you're going to see here is it's going to say like, please approve this, right? So this was sent literally during this workflow. So you see how it says 0 minutes ago there. Basically what this N8N agent is doing is it's getting us to approve the introduction before we send it over, right? So it's like, okay, let's talk about Google Gemma. And trust me, this is a big deal. I'm Julian Goldie. I spend all day looking at AI, SEO, and how to make more money. And this stuff is changing everything. And Gemma is right there at the front of the pack, right? So just to clarify here and help you understand, okay, what's going on here and how is this process working? So essentially, it is taking the input, which we said was Google Gemma API. Then this AI research assistant has gone off and researched the topic of Gemma. Then it's sent over to the introduction agent and used Gemma to write the introduction that you can see right here. Right, so it's written this really nice introduction. And how long is that content? This is just for the introduction, but it is, so it's wrote like 1,000 words for the transcript for our video. And then you can see here it's passed it on to Gmail to approve that. So you see how it says approval required for this email? So basically what it's doing is it's asking us to approve the content before it keeps going on to writing the rest of the content. Now, if we approve it, then it will go over to this AI agent to continue the workflow. If it doesn't get approved, then what's going to happen is the content will go through to the rewriting agent. That will loop back in to the introduction agent, rewrites the content, and then boom, we're ready to go. All right, and we just repeat that process. So if it gets declined, it goes up here. If it gets approved, it goes up here. And so you can kind of fork these one-click AI agents so that if you need to approve certain parts of the process or say, yeah, this is good to go or this is bad, etc., then you can easily do that using Gemma, right? And the whole process here is using Gemma directly. Again, just want to be 100% clear here. It looks like Google's API is not working right now directly for Gemma 3, but just use OpenRouter instead. If you use OpenRouter, that's actually going to work for you. So that's essentially how you can do it. Now we've covered many different workflows there already. So for example, how to do like a basic chatbot, how to, for example, create those really complicated RAG agents. That workflow is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This one, we've covered how to import workflows as well, so you can get your first AI agent set up in one click, just importing the workflows from the AI Profit Boardroom. And then also how to set up like human in the loop situations where content either gets approved or declined, and depending on that, you either rewrite the content or it goes on to the next stage of the workflow. And again, this is all using OpenRouter and Gemma 3. And like one click, literally all we said was keyword equals Gemma API. And we actually got like a really nice script, as you can see right here, back in the game. So yeah, super powerful stuff. Let's keep going now. So I want to show you how you can actually scrape the internet as well using these AI agents, right? So you can see here, for example, what we've got is a HTTP request, and we've got this AI agent, all right? And inside here, we can just scrape the internet using Gemma 3. So I'm going to type in Gemma here, and then we'll select 27B. And we can basically scrape whatever web page you want. So we've got the web page right there. And you can change this. So you can even have it connected to the chat if you want. That's going to send it over to the AI agent. And then the AI agent is going to scrape that and give us like 5 blog ideas based on the web page. Now, you could customize this to whatever you want. It could be like, okay, scrape the HTML or redesign the website or clone the website or use this for research, etc. The whole point here is like you can connect AI agents to live web pages, have the AI agent look through the web page in the HTML, and then use that as part of the workflow. So for example, we say, okay, go ahead inside here. Let's have a look what we got here. Reduce the endpoint tokens. All right, so let's just fix that up. See if that works. And that is providing some errors. Happy days. Always happens on the lives, this stuff. All right, we'll try this one. And that looks like it's actually working. So if you have any problems with the API, this is good for you to see, because then you can see like in real time, okay, if you have an issue, how do you fix it, right? So for example, in this situation, if one of the APIs on a beta API like Gemma 3 is struggling, then we can just change that directly inside the OpenRouter section here. And if you want to get like the best outputs possible, I still think like Claude 3.7 is the best. Right, so for example, if we say go ahead here, we can use Claude 3.7, which is my favorite for like writing content and really humanized content. But again, like Gemma 3, you can use for free because it is a free API and it's publicly available for anyone. So it depends on your preference and that sort of thing. But you can see here how I've got the process here. Now, why is it saying there's a context limit? Let's have a look what we got here. Max tokens and input length here. Might be because the HTML on the page is too long. Let's see what we got here. See if we can fix that. Again, like this is never going to be perfect when we're setting this up, right? So it's a case of like testing and tweaking and being iterative with the process. Let's see how that goes. And we'll wait for that to load. One thing you learn really quickly with AI as well, with setting up these AI agents, it's just like be patient with the model, right? It's like, it's a relatively new technology. You're building new stuff with it. You're experimenting with it. Is it going to work perfectly first time round? Absolutely not, right? So but once you've got it set up, it should work pretty consistently. But you can see here, for example, like we just had to change the number of tokens maximum inside that section, and then it worked perfectly. And we've got this HTTP request, took the HTML from that page, plugged it through the AI agent, and then we've got 5 blog ideas right there, right? So if you ever need to troubleshoot, this is why the AI Profit Boardroom is really good as well, because people have problems all the time, right? And we're all learning this stuff together. So when you join the AI Profit Boardroom, you can ask inside the community for any help that you need, right? So you can see here, for example, people are commenting all the time, posting all the time, and getting answers really, really quickly. So, for example, if you are struggling or you need some help, just ask the community. You got 455 members who are all dedicated to saving time, making money with AI, and you can use the community for help that you need, right? That's what we're there for. So you can see, for example, like even just 19 hours ago, we added all this stuff right here, including something that I'm going to move on to in a minute, which is how to set up a AI-powered call agent. But essentially, you can see how all of this process works step by step, how to set up your own AI agents, how to get all of this done. And it's pretty simple and easy to do, right? Once you've done it. The cool thing is as well, because I'm experimenting with this stuff, I make it really easy for you. So for example, with this is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you go into the N8N agent section, so there's tons of workflows here, and you can download the file and just import it into your workflow, right? So for example, if we just go to new, I'll put a timer and I'll show you how quick and easy this is to set up your own workflow inside N8N, right? So if we put the timer on here and we see how long it takes to create a new AI agent with the workflows that I give you. So if I click on import from file, select the JSON file, and that is already set up, ready to go, right? If you say, are you working? Boom, working perfectly, right? And we just imported it in what? 20 seconds, 22 seconds. So, even if you're new to this stuff, you can get your first AI agent set up in like 20 seconds. Really doesn't take a long time. And you just follow this process of like importing the JSON file. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of my best AI agent workflows, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. The whole goal of this community, for everyone who joins, is to save hundreds of hours and automate your business with AI, right? And this is based on how we scaled to over $300,000 a month. We have a community where you can just post any questions you have. So, you can ask any questions you have. And additionally, it comes with all our best automations. So for example, like email content, social media and video, AI agents, web automation, scraping, AI SEO automation, crash courses, SOPs, and the whole collection. And additionally, we're working on some new ideas all the time. So for example, like we've got a new course coming on Go high level automations and also business optimizations. And, all the stuff that I'm showing you with, you can just download. So all those agents that I've shown you today, like the Telegram assistant, the video transcript assistant, the SEO content writer, scraping live web pages, the stock earnings analysis RAG agent, and a couple of others, including an email sales agent and a calendar and email assistant, you can just download these files. So you can download them there and then import them straight into N8N. Really simple and easy, and then just plug in your free API from Gemma. Super powerful stuff. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. If you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to get that link in the comments description. In this free SEO strategy session, we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you're going to get a free SEO domination plan. It's got the secrets SEO link building. Answer any questions you have. You'll learn the best link building strategies for your website. Plus, you can just ask any questions you have live on the call. So if you're struggling with anything, feel free to ask us and we can help you directly on the call. So next up, what I want to show you now is something that is absolutely wild and it's crazy stuff. Just going to take a little quick drink and I'll be back with you in a sec. But this is probably the most exciting automation that I've ever seen. We've got a full tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but essentially what you can do, let me pull this up here. I'll show you an example. All right, so what we have here is an AI agent that can just answer inbound phone calls, right? It's actually linked to a phone number on our website. So if you call the phone number on our website, you can get a conversation live with this AI agent. And this basically answers all of my phone calls for me, automates the whole process, takes a message, and then I can grab the transcript later on in whenever I need to, right? Or my team can, and they can access the transcripts. So let me give you an example, right? We're going to call the AI agent here, and I'll show you exactly how this works step by step. I'm just going to turn the echo cancellation so that you can actually hear the whole thing. All right, so here we go. I'm going to call this AI agent, and hopefully this works. Hi, I'm the AI avatar of Julian Goldie. How can I help you today? Hey, so I wanted to book in a SEO strategy session. Okay, I can definitely help you with that. To book an SEO strategy session, could you please provide a little more information? For example, are you a current client or are you new to Goldie Agency? Also, do you have any specific goals in mind for your SEO strategy? Yeah, so I'm new to the Goldie Agency. Basically, what I want to do is I want to book in a free SEO strategy session with your team, and I want to build backlinks to my website. Is that something you can help with? Absolutely, I can definitely help you with that. We specialize in helping new clients like yourself with SEO strategy and link building. To get started, could you please share your website URL so we can take a quick look? Yeah, also, sure. Do you have any specific... Yeah, sure. Great. So it's juliangoldie.com. My email address is me@juliangoldie.com. Thanks so much for providing that information. I'll make sure to pass it along to the team so we can get you set up with a free SEO strategy session and start building those backlinks. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Yeah, so could you tell me what else you sell? You sell anything related to AI, for example? Yes, we do offer services related to AI. We have the AI Time Machine, which is an AI-powered growth engine designed to save you time by automating tasks. We also have the AI Profit Boardroom, where you can access AI systems to help you make more money. Would you like me to tell you more about either of those? Yeah, go on then. Tell me a cheeky little bit about that. Okay, so the AI Time Machine is designed to save you time by building AI automations for your business. We pinpoint where AI can save you the most time, then build and implement AI systems for you every month. On the other hand, the AI Profit Boardroom gives you access to proven AI money-making systems. You'll get weekly hot seat calls, AI standard operating procedures and templates, and direct access to Julian Goldie. Does either of those sound interesting? Yeah, all of that sounds good, but I'll have to go, all right? You got my email. I'll catch you later, sunshine. Sounds good. I'm glad I could help. We'll be in touch soon. Have a great day. You too, mate. You too. All right, so you get the point. Like, it's pretty simple and easy to have these conversations. You can automate this, and the difference between, say, having a human take your inbound phone calls and having an AI take your inbound phone calls is like, number one, you don't have to pay that AI hourly. Number two, it's gonna follow your process every single time. So if you have a step-by-step SOP like us for answering inbound phone calls, then this is never gonna let you down, right? Whereas, for example, humans, we all get tired, we all need a break, we all want to take weekends off sometimes as well. And so by having an AI agent that can do all this for us, we can easily automate all of this, save a lot of time. We don't have to manage anyone or manage anyone's KPIs or have one-to-one phone calls each week and manage that person on a team sales meeting. We've just got an AI agent ready to go straight out of the box, and all of a sudden you've replaced a job. Like, for example, imagine, I'm sure like 99% of businesses in the UK, if you have an office in the UK, and you're a proper business, making over 7 figures a year, you've probably got a receptionist or someone on the team desk answering phone calls, right? Now, how much money would you save if you replaced them with an AI agent, or you move them into like something else that's more productive, right? That requires more human intervention? Probably quite a lot of money, right? We're talking thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours per year. And so that's the power of this. Now, it's really easy to set up. I actually have a tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom that shows you exactly how to do it, right? And it's called, this section here is how to set up a AI powered inbound call agent. Like you can see, there's a full recipe on how to set it up. And essentially it's very easy to automate with AI using 11 Labs. Now, if you haven't come across 11 Labs, this is actually what we use for our video avatars as well. It's pretty powerful, pretty easy to do as well, and it's really simple. So I'll guide you through the process as well. And also the other thing to note here is, like, for example, you can see here that you actually get this cool dashboard. So you can see, okay, how many inbound calls did you get? I mean, we literally set this up yesterday. We already had 20 inbound calls using the AI agent. We've already had, the one today was the one from me. We can see the average duration of each call, how much credits it costs, etc. Right? And you can also see which agents are handling the most calls if you have multiple businesses. So it's a really cool dashboard. And then this is based on my actual voice, right? So I've basically cloned myself and got that AI clone to answer my phone calls for me so that I can save a lot of time, but also people feel more connected to me, right? A lot of people who want to book in a strategy session with our agency, they've seen my YouTube videos, probably seen my Facebook ads, etc. They want to speak directly to me. On top of that, inside our website and any other websites we do, even our content, we can embed this. You see there's a start a call button here in the bottom right. So this leads directly to the AI agent. They have to accept some terms and conditions before they start the call. But essentially, again, this feeds into our AI agent. And not only that, right? So if we scroll down here and we scroll down to the phone number on the website, I'm just going to test this actually works. But if we go to our section right here, I'm just going to pull this up. All right. So you can see what we're going to do is we're going to call this number right here. All right. So we can actually call this phone number. Like you can see, hopefully it works. And we can make a phone call to this number. I'm just going to check this actually works.
Hi, I'm the AI avatar of Julian Goldie. How can I help you today?
Hey, so could we have a conversation about AI?
Of course, I'd be happy to chat about AI. To make sure I can help you best, could you tell me what specifically you'd like to discuss about AI? Are you interested in how we use it at Goldie Agency, or are you curious about general AI trends and topics?
Yeah, so basically I just wanted a conversation about SEO, about AI, about how it all works,
Okay, I understand. You're interested in the intersection of search engine optimization and artificial intelligence. Well, that's a really hot topic right now. To make sure I'm on the right track, are you interested in how AI can be used to improve SEO, or perhaps how AI is changing the SEO landscape in general, or maybe both?
Yeah, so basically I just want like some guidance on how to use this for my business, etc.
Okay, great. So you're looking for guidance on how to leverage AI for your business's SEO. To give you the most relevant advice, could you tell me a bit about your business and what your current SEO efforts look like? For example, what kind of business is it? What's your website? And what SEO strategies are you currently using, if any?
All right, so you get the point, right? AI agent is also linked to a phone number, an offline phone number. So when people call, they get information about us, our business, etc. And it's something you can just dial up. You speak to an AI agent. The AI agent closes you and books you in for a free SEO strategy session. And all of a sudden, you don't need a receptionist anymore. Plus, you're converting more leads from your website because it's more interactive, right? How much more interactive is that versus using something like a contact form, right? Or which you don't even know if people are going to answer or not. So it's really powerful. And then also you can take the number of the client on the call, have you set up, your SDR, reach out to them as well. And then also what you can do is you can take their email address and you can introduce them to your sales team as well. So this is what it's all about. Like, if you're the first mover on this stuff, then you're way ahead of everyone. So let me show you how to set this up step by step, all right? So if you want to set one of these bad boys up, the first thing you want to do, I would recommend, is make sure that you have a Pro Voice set up inside 11 Labs, right? Now, we've actually got a full tutorial on how to set that up and how we set it up so it feels so lifelike. Like you see, we've got all these different voices, but the main one that we use is Pro Voice, right? So if you want to add a new voice, you're going to go over here, and I would recommend that you use a professional voice clone like you can see. The reason that you want to use a professional voice clone, it takes about 6 hours to generate, but it is so powerful and it sounds so much more lifelike than any of these, right? You could also have, for example, a professional clone, but if you're a personal brand or if you're a CEO and you're the face of your business, it's always better to have an actual person answering the phone. Now, once you've done that, and I just trained it on maybe 10 minutes of footage on my audio, then what you can do is you go down to conversational AI over here. You're going to go over to agents. Then you're going to click on the plus sign, create an AI agent. And from here, you can just start using this process right here, right? So we can go to, for example, blank template. We can call this, for example, Julian Goldie AI receptionist. All right. And then from here, we just set up all the details, right? Now, one of the main things that you want to do here is you want to add a knowledge base. So for example, if we go into this AI agent, this is the one answering for me. And I haven't even told you about using the additional languages. I'll come on to that in a minute. But essentially what we can do is we can link this to Twilio. So Twilio makes it link to a phone number. We can also have a webhook. So it actually links directly to N8N as an AI agent, like you can see. And additionally, what you can see here is I've trained it on all of my sales pages and what we sell. So it's got some information about me, the SEO Elite Circle, the SEO Success Lab, the AI Profit Boardroom. This is our AI Time Machine service. And then also I've given it all the data from my website. Now, what's also pretty cool about this is you don't have to actually upload a PDF if you don't want to. You could just paste in some text like you can see, and you can also scrape this from a URL. So you can actually scrape live URLs, for example, your website or your About Me page or your homepage, and then use that to train the AI agent like you can see. You can also, for example, change the temperature. So this just changes how creative or random the response is. And here, like you can see, I've actually got Gemini. So I'm using Google to respond to queries because that's one of the fastest. But you could also use, for example, Claude 3.7. You could use GPT-4o, etc. Whatever you want to answer the phone call. On top of that, you can see the system prompts here. So we've said, you are a support agent named Julian Goldie for Goldie Agency. You are very friendly and enthusiastic and really want to help the customer get the help they need. Answer in 3 to 7 sentences at most. Here's our email address. Ask to take a message, and then we'll get back to that person ASAP. I'm actually going to say, make sure you take the client's phone number with international dial code, email address, etc. Right? And so when you're using this process, we can use all of this to start generating the responses that we want. So you can see how powerful this is. Yazin says, continue. I love what you're doing, bro. I appreciate the support. That's super kind. You're an enthusiastic person as well as me. You're the best. You're the best, Yazin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's Get Smart says, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Wayne says, having issues joining. I don't know what you mean. If you're having issues joining the AI Profit Boardroom, just get in touch with me at juliangoldie.com. But you shouldn't have any issues. I think it's pretty simple. You just sign up directly via yeah, via school, etc. But yeah, essentially this is how we're going. What else we got here? For me, it's working. I can use Gemma 8 in N8N. And Amran says, love the vids. Is this stuff helpful for you, by the way? But let's just take a little break here. I just want to make sure, like, is this stuff actually useful and helpful for you? Just let me know in the chat so I can make sure, like, you're getting the support you need. And, you know, if you have any questions, now's the time to ask, right? So if you're struggling with anything or you need help with AI, just let me know in the comments. Reply to here on YouTube or on Twitter, and I can answer anything that you want. But in the meantime, we're just looking at this inbound AI agent. I'm going to show you some other cool stuff in a minute, but you can see how powerful this is. All right. So inside here as well, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to say, make sure you take the client's phone number with international dial code and email address. All right. Plus their URL and what they're looking for. Now, I used to pay for a virtual office, I think it was about $100 a month. So this is saving at least $1,000 a year, but probably more because it's more engaging and this is open 24/7. Whereas, for example, that virtual office, that will be answering phone calls just 9 to 5 in EST, which is actually not that useful. You can also change the first message. So I like to be transparent and just say, I'm that AI avatar of Julian Goldie. How can I help you today? And you can even change the language. So, you know, you've got all these different languages that it can answer in. And additionally, you can specify different languages, right? So, for example, if you want a conversation in Dutch, Finnish, Turkish, Russian, whatever you want, right? You can speak right here. And we're just going to hit save on that. And then inside the voice section, I've selected my Pro Voice. That's really important to select there. You can also add like pronunciation dictionaries, which is pretty interesting. You can control the speed of the generated speech. We've got the analysis, security. One thing to note here on the security is like, you don't want people to rinse this, right? So, you know, in kind of the same way people would DDoS your website, you don't want to get DDoSed on, for example, you know, on your AI agent, right? Like, because it could cost you, you could rinse through credits on 11 Labs, which is what you don't want. So just set the daily calls limit here. I've set it to like 500 maximum. Honestly, if I have any problems, then I'll just reduce it even more. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. Then you can also set like the maximum conversation duration, so the number of seconds that a conversation can last, keywords, etc. And then finally we have a widget. Now this is the embeddable widget that you can insert into your website. So for example, if we go into juliangoldie.com, you can see here we've got start a call in the bottom right. That's what I'm talking about when I say embeddable widget. And then we can also customize like the colors of the background, right? So for example, my brand colors, let me pull this up here, are these. So if we wanted to use them, what we can do over here is we can change the background color. So we could change the background color to that. We could, for example, change the text color, etc. I actually prefer it as white just because it looks cleaner. But you get the point. Like you could even just change the, that actually looks quite nice. I'm going to save that now so it just stands out. And then if we refresh juliangoldie.com, that should be updated. Yeah, so you can see the orange color on the border right there. And then you can also change the button here, right? So you see how it says text context and then modify the text displayed in the widget. So if we say, okay, speak to an agent, then that will change right there. So for example, if we refresh the website now, you see how it says speak to an agent in the bottom right over there. That's what you want, right? So you can see it quite easily. And then it's got like CTAs, need help, listening, etc., speaking status. It's also got these terms and conditions, right? So it says by clicking agree, each time I interact with this AI agent, I consent to the recording, storage, and sharing of my communications with third-party service providers as described in the privacy policy. If you do not wish to have your conversations recorded, please refrain from using this service, right? And then they can also select the language selection if you want, so you can change the language. But basically, are you helping people get better responses here? Are you helping people along the way? And I would say absolutely 100%, right? You are helping people. You can also test out once you built it. You can take the link, share it with other people. You can look at the conversation history. You can edit the name, etc. Right? Now, once you've done that, you'll see inside the phone number section here, you can import a phone number. So for example, we've got our company phone number here. So for inbound calls, this will go through to the inbound agent, like you can see. So when we click on this, you can see here when people call, it's linked to this agent right here. You can select between different agents if you want. And then also inside the knowledge base, we have all this information saved about us. So it can pull that information and data to answer phone calls. And then also inside this section over here, we have the call history, right? So you can see how many messages there were, how long the call was, whether it was successful or not, what time it was done, and everything else, right? So for example, if we click on this, we've got all that information right here. If we click on this, we've got this information. So you can see it took my email address like so. And then we can actually download this and send it to our team, right? So we can download the actual audio file. We can play this back if we want to. We've also got the transcription of it here between the AI agent and the person. And then we have the client data, right? So super powerful stuff. We can see how much credits it cost us, how long the call duration was, etc. It's one of the most powerful and one of the most actionable ways I've seen to use AI, like ever. Like I've never seen anything as powerful as this. So yeah, it absolutely blew me away. And the fact that you can set this up in like 10 or 15 minutes and then, you know, you save yourself hundreds of hours, it's 100% worth it. You can see how many people have been using it over the last 24 hours. And it's also pretty fun to just send to your friends and see how they react. Yeah. So really powerful stuff. I mean, the other thing here as well is like, because it's all automatically tracked through 11 Labs, that also helps because then, you know, you've got this easy process for tracking. You don't need to rely on people to do the admin and everything else, which can be frustrating sometimes, to be honest with you. And this is all set up, done perfectly. SOP compliance is like 100%. And it's a beautiful system, my friends. So if you want the process for that, if you want to see exactly how we set up that inbound agent, including all the knowledge, what we used, how we linked it to Twilio, etc., there's a tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom along with a step-by-step SOP, right? So you just go to web automation and scraping, and then how to set up an AI-powered inbound call agent. And that one automation, if you have an offline business, you know, where you're taking a lot of calls, will save you hundreds of hours. Plus, it will probably help you land more clients because you're no longer missing calls. You no longer need to answer your phone on the weekend, or you don't need to have your phone on. You can have your phone on Do Not Disturb and actually get stuff done instead of waiting for people to call you. So super powerful automation inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And yeah, this also comes with a community of 455 people. You can ask for help and advice. So, anytime you get stuck, you can just go in here, ask any questions you have. Additionally, you get all of these other automations and templates. So all of my best SOPs, AI agents, we have a crash course here as well. So if you just implement one of these processes, you're going to save hundreds of hours, right? And if you implement them all, probably going to save thousands of hours, just like we have, right? And then also, if you have any questions and you want to jump on a live call, then you can jump on the weekly Q&A calls right here, ask any questions you have, and those answered in real time. So yeah, and if you miss the Q&As, you can also jump on the call recordings here. So link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boardroom. We also have a massive yearly discount. So if you sign up for yearly, I think you save about 30%, which is pretty decent. And if you want to book a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to book that in. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, so that'll be custom tailored to you and your business and your situation. You also discover the secrets of SEO link building, or answer any questions you have. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Feel free to put that in, link in the comments description. And next, we'll move on to something else. Kinetic says, hi, I watch you. I'm a structural engineer in South Africa, and I use AI tools. I want to do better. I want to build my tools for reports, etc. And I think it's the way to go. Absolutely. Like, I can't code. I'm definitely not an engineer, and I have no idea how to use Python. But I can create, I think I've created over 50 SEO tools inside the AI Success Lab. Right, so if we go inside the classroom here, 50 free AI SEO tools. And you can see all the tools you get, like they're absolutely insane, right? A free AI SEO content tool, keyword research tool, and tons of different tools here. If we actually scroll through this document, you can see all the tools that we've set up. And it's pretty wild, like content creation, social media, keyword research, link building, systems, all this stuff I've built using AI. And you know, these tools you would normally pay like thousands of dollars for access. By the way, if you want access to this community, it's completely free. And link is inside the comments description if you want to get access. But yeah, really, really powerful stuff. So yeah, I mean, the more you can automate in a smart way, the better, I would say, because each time you set up an automation, you free up your time, you can move on to the next thing, and you just scale, right? And you either eliminate, delegate, or automate. Now with AI, you've got the automation section covered, and you know, there's no real issues there. So pretty powerful stuff right there. Now, the final thing that I want to do is I want to compare a few different tools that we've got access to. So let me pull this up right here. I'm going to open up a ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, I think that'll do, and then also Gemma 3. All right. So let's open up. Take a little break. So, Gemma 3, which is new update, Gemma 3, which is the new update from Google, versus Grok, versus ChatGPT, versus Claude. Which one is the best? Now, if you're not familiar with what Gemma 3 is, let me pull up an example right here. There's actually a whole section inside the AI Profit Boardroom on exactly how it works, etc., what it is. But essentially, this is the latest model from Google, and Google said this is the most capable model you can run on a single GPU. Like you can see, you can actually run it locally as well, and you can see the benchmarks here. So according to the chatbot arena, it's outperforming DeepSeek version 3, outperforming O3 Mini, Llama 3, Mistral Large, and Gemma 2, right? And you can see it's right up there with DeepSeek R1. So we're going to be testing it and comparing it versus Grok, ChatGPT, and Claude. And if you want to get free access to this, it is completely free to use. There you can get access at aistudio.google.com. So let's get straight into this. First thing I'm going to say here is build, and you know what? I'm going to take some prompts that I've previously tested just to give this a fair run. So first thing that we can do is we're going to do a little reasoning challenge. All right, I'm going to say there's a tree on the other side of a river in winter. How can I pick an apple? All right, and we'll test it for reasoning first of all. So the main thing we're looking for here is like, can it think for itself? I'm not going to use a reasoning model inside any of these other models either. So we're just going to be comparing like the basic models, simply because as far as I'm aware, Gemma 3 is not a reasoning model. But you can see how it's coming up with an answer here. Actually, it's pretty impressive, the answer it's come up with. Like already, you can see the reasoning step by step. And it's given us multiple different solutions, right? So that's the main thing that we're looking for, is like, can it understand and can it look at it from a logical way? And then also, can it problem solve for itself? Now that's a really detailed answer. And it's like, right, the simplest answer, apples don't stay on trees forever. Wait until spring, summer, or fall when the river might freeze or the water level is lower, or you can simply wade across a boat, right? Now, let's have a look here. Has it actually figured out that apple trees don't have, there we go, right? It says it's winter, apples aren't typically ripe or even on the tree in winter. The riddle implies there is an apple, but it might be a trick. All right, so it's figured that out, plus it's given us loads of different solutions here. Pretty practical, and also it's straight to the point. So pretty good answer right there. Let's see what we got back from Grok. Grok is not bad. It's not giving us as many ideas, as you can see, but still not bad at all. ChatGPT says use a drone. but it hasn't figured out that actually, in winter, apples typically don't grow on trees. So that's coming in last so far. And let's just check out Claude. And Claude figures it out straight away. So it's like, it's winter and apple trees typically don't bear fruit in winter. So when I look at this, I actually think the most practical solutions came from Gemma 3. Grok did pretty well too. Claude figured it out straight away, so that's coming in second. So far we've got Gemma 3 coming in first, Claude second, Grok, I would say joint second. ChatGPT 4.0 didn't get it at all. All right. Now, bear in mind, this is a free model. So you get free access to Gemma 3 as well, which is super powerful. And we'll move on to the next example. And we're going to say, okay, let me pull this up. I'm going to give it this prompt, which I usually use for content writing. Link in the comments and description to the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get all my best AI SEO automations. I'm going to plug this into the chat here. And we'll say create an SEO optimized article for this, keyword equals, and we'll put SEO training London. We'll plug that in. We'll do that inside Claude, inside Grok. I'll probably have to sign into Grok on there directly. We'll continue with X. And then we'll also do the same thing in the background with ChatGPT. I'm going to start a new conversation for each, just so that it's got more context, etc. All right, we're logged into Grok as well. Let's plug that in. So same prompt in each, and basically what we're testing for is like, which is the best at creating content. Now, usually my personal preference is using Claude. Claude seems to be the best when it's creating content. But let's see what we get back. So Claude, SEO training in London, the ultimate guide. So pretty nicely written right there. Let's grab the text, see what word count we got out. So it's come back to us with 1,000 words. I think we did ask for, how many words did we ask for? Maybe we didn't give it a word count. All right, so that's 1,000 words. Let's see what we got back from Gemma. Gemma is still writing the content. It's a bit slower, but the content is pretty nice, nicely formatted as well. So for example, why London needs specific SEO expertise. It's competitive, really competitive. You're up against established brands. Pretty nicely humanized. Let's have a look at Grok. Let's check this out. This is a super long article. Let's see how long this is. That's coming out of 1,200 words. Grok is, Gemma 3 is still writing. The only thing I would say with Gemma is it still feels like really AI style text, right? So for example, if you read this first line, are you tired of your website being invisible on Google? Do you feel like everyone is getting clicks while you're stuck on page 2 or worse? Doesn't feel that humanized. Whereas if you compare it to Claude, which is like, you're looking for the best SEO training in London that actually delivers results. I've been where you are, right? If you're tired of the same recycled advice that doesn't move the needle, let me share what actually works. That is 10 times better than the intro from Gemma, which still feels like AI fluffy, This is not bad from ChatGPT. Let's see how long the content is. Content is only 650 words. So I'd say the way this is written, it feels a lot nicer than Gemma 3, but it's still not as good as Claude. And then if we have a look at Grok, let's see where we're at. And you can see how it's optimized for the keyword as well. So for example, SEO training in London is front-loaded in the title and also in the first line. Feels very humanized, and it reads really nicely. Probably not quite as nicely as Claude, but it's up there. So I'm going to rate this as Claude coming in first, Grok coming in second, ChatGPT coming in third, and then Gemma 3. It really does feel like AI fluff if we read through most of that content. So I'm going to stick with Claude for that in terms of being the most humanized. And so far, Gemma 3 is not doing that well, but hopefully it gets better for it. So let's keep going now. And we're going to move on to the next prompt, which is actually what I want to do here is I'm going to see how well humanized the content is, right? So usually I use Zero GPT to figure this out. And what we can do is plug in the content from each AI and see which one comes out the most humanized. So let's grab the content from Claude, like so. We'll close it out. We'll put detect text. And we'll see how these perform. All right. So you can see here, Claude's content really humanized, right? It comes out as 0.9% AI detectable, which is pretty impressive, to be fair. Bearing in mind, it created a 1,000-word article, and it's not AI detectable at all. Let's check now how Grok performs. So we'll do the same thing. Nice, so many pop-ups on Zero GPT, it's crazy. So we've got the content back, and that is coming out at 15%. So it's currently in second place. That's the content from Grok. Let's take the content from ChatGPT. And then after that, we'll check Gemma 3. So that's 19%. All right. So far in order, Claude comes out 0% human AI detectable. Grok comes out at 15%. ChatGPT came out at 19.39%. And finally, let's check Gemma. So it's actually come out in the order that I rated it as well. So I did say before, like, Claude came in first, Grok came in second, ChatGPT came in third, which is pretty interesting. So I think to the human eye as well, once you create a lot of content with AI, you just get a feel for like whether it's AI written or humanized at all. And there, like I said, Gemma felt really AI when I was reading through it. It felt like there was a lot of AI fluff in there. And Zero GPT can feel that too, right? So it says your text is likely human written, but may include parts generated by AI. And that comes out at 39.39% AI detectable, right? So in terms of not just the humanization and the writing of the content, but also the actual detectability of it, you can clearly see the Claude is the best for human writing, humanized writing. Grok comes out second, ChatGPT comes in third, and Gemma is really lagging behind by quite a long way right there. Right? Now, it might perform better when you're running it locally, but I'm just testing it inside AI Studio. So, you get the feel for it. And as well, it took like 2 minutes to generate this content, whereas I think Claude was a lot faster when it was generating that content. Plus, it created more content for us as an output. All right. Let's keep going now. What else can we do? So I'm going to now test it for coding. So I'm going to say create a self-playing snake game using Python with a simple GUI. And I'm actually going to change that to HTML. So we'll test that on each. Let's go back to Gemma. We'll start a new chat here. Same for Claude. Grok. The only thing I find with Grok is like it is distinctly average compared to Claude, right? I really only use Claude these days. ChatGPT is useful too, but honestly, these days, like Claude is so powerful and so good at writing and coding and giving you outputs back quickly. Plus, it's very reliable that I tend to use Claude more than anything these days. But let's see what we get back from Gemma now. Grok has already come back to us. So I think we should be able to run that. Yeah, so we can preview that. So we've got a self-playing snake game there. That is working perfectly. So good job from Grok. Let's test out Claude. Claude is still coding. So is Gemma 3. So let's check out ChatGPT now. We're going to click on preview over here. We'll see how this performs. So you can see, like, if you compare the output of Grok versus the output of ChatGPT, see how this is a lot slower and a lot more laggy compared to Grok, which is like way faster when it's doing these outputs. So there's still a big difference between these models. So far, Grok is winning. Let's test now Claude. Now, Claude is quite interesting because it actually thinks more about the UI. So you see how here The UI is nicer. It's nicer design. It's got more color ranges. We can actually change the speed, so we can dial up the speed or dial it down. We can also pause it, reset it, and control it. So far it's good, but let's see if it actually works. And that is working perfectly. All right, so far Claude is winning on that respect, but let's test out now. We've got Gemma. Can we preview it directly inside the chat here? I don't think we can. More options, branch, copy text, markdown. Nah, we don't seem to be able to run it. So what I'm going to do from here is I will grab the HTML, we'll copy that to clipboard, and we'll go over to Live Weave, which is a really useful tool for plugging in HTML. We'll plug that in like so. To be fair, that is pretty good, but it doesn't work. Look at that. Game over. Let's see if it works again now, or if it's just going to get stuck every time. Does it work? No, look at that. It's not playing itself. It's just running into a wall over and over again. All right, so if we compare these models, Gemma is coming in last because it doesn't actually work, like you can see. Claude is coming in first. Like you've got the UI, you've got the controls, you can change the speed. It's even got a title and the colors, plus the design is much nicer, the front end. Grok, I would say, is coming in second just because it's a bit faster than ChatGPT's output, and ChatGPT comes in third. So Gemma is not really performing that well when it comes to, for example, coding, content creation, when it comes to content humanization. It does perform better on reasoning versus these other models, but that's about it from what I've seen so far. So if you're thinking, okay, should I switch to Gemma instead of these other tools? I would stick with Claude. You know, the other thing to note is like, yes, Gemma is free, but so is Claude, right? The only thing that you might use Gemma for that is an advantage versus everything else is number one, you can run it locally, right? So for example, with Claude, you can't run that locally. Grok, you can't. ChatGPT, obviously you can't run that locally either. So Gemma is winning there, right? If you want to set up Gemma 3, running it locally, then you can go to Llama, go to Gemma 3, like you can see, and then I think I installed the local model yesterday. So I'm just going to open up Llama here, right? So you need to make sure that you have Llama 3 running in the background so you can see the icon for Llama right there, Llama. And then if we go over to terminal here, and we type in and we just need to make sure we have Llama 3 running. All right. And then if we go over to terminal, there we go. You see how that's running now? And we say, okay, what model are you? We'll zoom in and you can see it says Gemma, right? So if you want to run this locally, if you want to run it offline, etc., then Gemma is the only option out of all these tools. So it comes in first there. And then also, if you want a free API, well, Claude doesn't have a free API. Neither does Grok. Neither does ChatGPT. I've actually got another video on AI agents and building them with Gemma 3. And that's one of its biggest advantages as well. So the way that I usually set up Gemma 3 from what I've tested so far is I will go onto OpenRouter, right? And I'm going to use OpenRouter for the API and then use that to build stuff out. So for example, if I'm plugging this into N8N, let's pull this up. So if you want to build like one-click AI agents, we can go into N8N. And then when we're building out a workflow, for example, let's pull this one up. All right. So for example, like this one, then we can use OpenRouter and Gemma 3 there. All right. We have a bunch of templates for AI agents inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go to the classroom, then you go to AI agents, we have tons of different resources here. So you can download all of these and import them into N8N. And then we also have a bunch of others as well. Right? Now, if you want to use this inside N8N, let me show you exactly how easy this is. So we'll go to create workflow. And for here, we're going to put it in chat trigger. After that, we'll type in AI agent like so. And then inside the chat model here, we're going to type in OpenRouter. From OpenRouter, we'll select Gemma. So we'll go with Gemma like so. You might have to switch between these, so just be careful which one you select. Sometimes, you know, when it's a new model, it doesn't seem to work perfectly. And then from here, we can say, okay, are you working? And again, it says, right, here we go. Let me open this up for you. So it says, yes, I am always working as a large language model. I don't clock in or clock out, right? So it's actually got quite a bit of personality as well when it replies. So if you compare, Claude versus Grok versus ChatGPT versus Gemma 3, then Gemma 3 is pretty good for building out free AI agents. You can get a free API inside OpenRouter, and then you can plug that into N8N. Whereas the rest of the APIs you're gonna have to pay for, right? So that's one of the biggest advantages as well. So that's all I would use Gemma 3 for. Local and free APIs, but I wouldn't use it for example, like reasoning or coding or creating content or humanizing content directly inside the chat. So thanks very much for watching. That is the end of this video. If you want to get access to all of the agents, workflows, templates, SOPs, video notes, etc. from today, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is basically a community designed to help you save hundreds of hours and make more money with AI. And inside here, you'll get access to our best email and content automation, social media automations, AI agents, web automation scraping, AI SEO automations, Q&A call recordings, SOPs, and a crash course to save you hundreds of hours. Top of that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask inside the community here. So you can ask any questions you want inside the community if you get stuck. And if you want like live help on a weekly call, just jump on the coaching calls right here, as you can see, and feel free to ask us any questions you have. Link in the comments description to that. And also, if you want to get a free SEO strategy session one-to-one, feel free to put in. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan. So you get a custom tailored SEO link building plan so you can generate more lead sales and profits from your website. You'll discover the secrets SEO link building, answer any questions you have. You'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to outrank your competitors based on what's working for us. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.